kind of going, I'm trying to figure out how you can teach all these things that you told me, where in the American system, the kids wouldn't be able to take, for example, in ninth grade, 3 sciences, right? But here they are.
Yeah.
Physics, chemistry, and what else? Biology?
Biology,
Okay.
yeah.
So how do you arrange all this? By the way, how many classes typically do the kids do per day?
Like 6 or 7.
6 or 7. Okay, so show me how you can fit all this in. I always get to edit on this.
Okay.
So for a third grader, let's look at this. What would a third grader minimally take?
Our third grader,
Yeah, our
which
third
is
grade.
15 or 14 or 15 years.
14 years
Yeah.
old, 15 years
I
old.
take the average level, right?
Okay.
So they have more than 2 hours because this is Daltan, which is specific for this school, but they have 2 classes of Dutch, literature and linguistics. They have French, they have German, they have English, they have history, geography, economics, math, physics, chemistry, those are arts, and those are PE.
So they can be taking, they're not maybe taking this each class every day.
No.
Alternate type of days.
It's a week schedule. It's not a day schedule as
Right.
you are accustomed to in America.
Right. So this approach gives kids a more range of what they can take.
Yeah. And after the third grade, they have to choose. It's even harder to explain.
So let's look at the final year.
Okay.
What a kid and a child in the final year would take.
Well, there's nobody who can take everything. You have to choose. After our third grade,
Okay.
you have to. It's called the bovenbouw, which
Right.
is the upper levels of the school.
So give me an idea of
Okay.
a typical.
Okay, 2 hours of Dutch each week.
Okay.
2 hours of Dutch. Sometimes Latin or Greek. We even teach that, but there are very few students who take that.
Okay.
They take French, they take German, English. They can take history or geography.
How many hours of English do they take?
2.
And when do they typically start taking English in the primary? Do they start in the primary school?
Yeah, but
Not so much.
No, the level of education is very low in the primary school, so we have to teach them again and start.
So is English an important language here?
Oh, very. We have a bilingual stream, which
Right.
is the expression of the importance we think English has.
So real quick, so what I'm seeing is that a student typically might be able to speak up to 3 languages when they leave?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's keep moving ahead here.
I was with English, history,
Okay.
Geography, or
How many hours in history at least?
2.
2, okay.
2
Okay.
geography, 2 economics, 2 management and organization, philosophy, some types of math, different types of math,
Correct.
physics, chemistry, biology, and arts.
So really a lot, pretty comprehensive. And then to get into the university system here, the students have to take a test, correct?
No, they can enroll if there is not a number of fixed. Some studies in universities are fixed because of the number of students, and they can, when they excel in their grades at the end, whether certificates are distributed, and they score high, then they enroll very easy, as if not automatically.
But let's say a child's not performing well, and let's say dad says, I want you to go to the university.
Yeah, it's impossible.
So then there is some type of criteria in selection at the university level.
Sure, they have to have the right certificate.
Certificate. So the certificate is really their way. And
That's the entrance ticket.
And so in the U.S., many kids not only have to have,
I know.
grades, but they have to take what's called the SAT or ACT test. So there's nothing on that level here.
No.
So the certificate is their way in.
Is their way in.
And from the type of school.
The grades are determining if they can go without balloting or things like that.
Generally, to be a teacher, what I'm trying to figure out here is there's been some studies that support in America that not all teachers, I don't think I'd be one of those, but statistically, the bottom 1/3 of the college university system, typically bottom 1/3 academically, become teachers. It's not like that in every country.
No.
And so, I think a lot of that has to do with how you treat your teachers, but also how you pay your teachers. And some of the states basically pay teachers at or near poverty level, pretty close. So how do you work your system here? Are you getting your bottom academic people here?
No, it's not the bottom. It's just the average. I mean,
Middle
yeah.
of the
Oh,
university
sure. And top,
and top.
right? Especially now since the crisis is on.
So more people are wanting to get into education.
right,
So
right.
it's raised because I think you mentioned in the past there was a lot of industry,
Right.
and they paid better.
It's changed now. So
Right.
So that's where we profit. If I have an opening, I get 10 years ago, I would be happy if I got 10 applicants.
And now
And I get 80 or 90.
for one position.
Yeah, right.
Okay, typically an average teacher, how many classes do they have to teach per week?
Well, in this school we have classes of 60 minutes, so but they have to like 20, 21.
20 to 21 lessons a week.
Then you're a full-time
Teacher.
Full-time teacher. Right?
20 or 21 classes per week. So that's
Yeah.
only about 4, 8, 12. That's roughly 5 classes a day.
Yeah, yeah, average. Yeah, right.
Actually, not even 5.
No.
4,
And-
4.5.
Yeah, and on this school, because of the Daltan system, they have two. There are also Daltan hours in which students can choose what subject they want to work on, and the teacher sort of supervises.
Right.
Doesn't teach really, but helps them.
But this is a public school.
This is a public school.
Okay.
But we ask money from parents in order to get extra things done. But we are a public school.
And do the parents, are they obliged to give that extra money?
We couldn't press them to do it, but we beg on our knees that they will.
And they do
And
it.
they do. For 98% they pay.